Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and we're going to continue our Meet Our Snakes videos. And I'll be honest, while I make this video, I keep going back and forth in my brain about which snakes I want to introduce. So I got a few of these to do, and I finally decided we're going to go this route, which is really cool because it means you get to see a few more snakes. So to do this video, and to do it right, I have to introduce you to several snakes. These are all ones we got at the same time. I'll bring them to you. You can stay where you're at. You don't have to follow me around. So see, we have a different camera person because camera guy Curt needed a little vacation, but we got to keep over there because of lighting. Let me find what I want. That's not what I want. Now, here's what I want. So this is the first one I want to introduce you to. And I debated on doing this right now for one reason. This was one of Curt's first snakes. So I'll show you his other first snake. We got 3 snakes in a package all at the same time. That was one of them. This was another one. And these are, truthfully, Curt's first 2 snakes. So basically, what happened was, I was actually we were sitting around playing cards. This is how Curt got into snakes, okay? And he thought, man, that's pretty cool. I'd like to get into that. And I was working on a deal to purchase a Calico. And then, basically, he said, let's do it. So we ended up getting 2 Calicos. I told him he could pick male or female. And of course, he wanted the female. I told him that was a better way to go. And maybe I'm screwing the story up. So if I do, he'll correct me in the comments. And then the guy offered to also throw in an Inchi. And so we got this Inchi. Actually, we bought the 3. And then the guy threw in another one. So I got to show you 4 snakes. And the guy threw in Curt's lesser, which I'll get out here in a minute. So this is an introduction to Curt's original snakes. How about we do it that way? Where are you, buddy? Here you are. So Curt's first 3 snakes are comprised of these 3, 2 males and a female. And what he had here was a Calico, a lesser, and an Inchi. And remember at first, we were kind of separate. We were doing things together, but I was housing his snakes at my house and whatnot. And we were sharing food costs and doing all this before we just said, screw it, and combined everything. But this was his original trio he started out with. I wanted to share them with you and kind of what all they mean. So, when they first came in the bag, we got all of these as little bitty babies, and this one here was just really kind of awesome, a really nice lesser. I would say out of the 3, originally I think he was most excited about this one, but as time has gone on, he's been most excited about Inchi, and Curt really wants me to put Inchi to almost everything. Yet I hardly ever put Inchi to anything. It kind of is what it is, but and just because by itself, I'm not a huge Inchi person, which I know is kind of sacrilege, but a lot of people do love it. So let's look at what makes these snakes what their morphs are. And because you are pregnant and cranky, I'm going to do you first. So this is a Calico. I want to get her back, so we're going to show her off first. And you can see that really aberrant tail pattern right there. That's one of the telltale signs of Calico. So you get normal pattern almost, and then when you get down to the back third, it gets really, really elongated and wonky usually. The other thing is white. So they'll get these little white dots. This is a low white Calico, but you can see the white flecking there and over here and all the way up into there. So Calicos will almost always have that white, or they should have some semblance of it, and that tail is going to really be a mess. So when you breed these, they really change pattern a lot, especially in the back third of the snake, making them pretty easy to identify. One exception was when we put it to get in there, to champagne. We had a really hard time telling what is what. However, we ended up throwing a lot of ringers in that clutch. And again, because that's messing with the tail pattern, and when you mix champagne, it has a higher tendency to throw ringers, I am pretty safe in saying that a lot of the ones with ringers will end up proving out to be champagne Calico. So then we'll go next to this lesser. So of course, this is part of the Bell complex, and they're pretty easy to identify. Their color is definitely different. You get that overall light color in a lesser, and just kind of the goldish in there. And this is actually a really nice looking lesser. We have used him for breeding. He kind of serves as our backup lesser. And the reason he kind of is the backup is because we have the lesser pastel male. So we get 2 genes for 1. But here's the thing. When you have projects that are really important to you color-wise, like for us, lesser is very important. We really like to put it to a lot of stuff. You always want to have a couple males that carry that. You don't want to rely on one male. One, you could overwork him, and two, if he proves to not be a very good breeder or needs a year off, you're going to need something else, right? So have a backup, and we have backup males in a lot of our projects, our lesser projects, our xanthic projects for sure. We're actually going to have 3 adult visual xanthic males by next year, a regular xanthic or zebra bean or super pastel xanthic. So having all that ready to go definitely makes your projects easier. Let me throw him back up, and then we'll get to the last one. By the way, his name is Loki. I guess I should share the names with you. So he is Loki. Curt picked that name. I did tell him we had to stick to mythology. And of course, Loki is Nordic mythology and would be the brother to Zeus, or not Zeus, sorry, the brother to Thor, who's always getting in trouble. Kind of a trickster, kind of a jokester, always a problem child. The big Calico girl, who is a proven Calico, and she is the mother to 2 of our world's first. One that you'll find on World of Ball Pythons called the Shits, which was a Calico Blitz. And then the other one we never bothered to submit because I just got lazy. And that is of course, the Calitz, the Calico Blitz. So she did produce both of those babies. So she does a really good job for us. Her name is Calypso. And this guy here is, I want to make sure I don't give you the wrong name, Cerberus. So that would be, the multiple-headed dog who helps to guard hell. I just like saying hell in a video and not being like swearing. It's the guardian. Well, not technically hell, but the mythology version of hell. So, back to the snake though. So the Inchi, what is Inchi? Well, Inchi does a lot of things. One, you'll see a lot of times quite a bit of banding in Inchi, where the pattern comes clear across. 2, on camera it may not show very well, but when you compare this snake to a normal, the color's it's just different. Let me see if I can't show you that. I know, girly, you're really pregnant. Don't really want to be messed with too much with this girl here. So this is our big normal girl, Alithia, one of our 2 big normal girls. She's getting close to popping, as you can see. And you can see the color difference now. There's a lot more yellow in here. It's not a lot lighter, but there's a lot more yellow, giving this kind of this, I don't know, what'd you call that, dear? Dark gold? Yeah. Okay, I'll put you back. A bronze would be a good way of putting it. I think that's probably a better way of describing that color, is bronze. Then you will also get on Inchi the speckling through the body. You can see right there. That is extremely common with Inchi. As a matter of fact, if you don't see that, it's probably not an Inchi. So this one, this side, you can really see it. And on this side, on the back, you can really see it's really nice and high. So this is a pretty typical Inchi. Like I say, good color, good speckling. Probably less banding than I've seen on some Inchis. Some lines of Inchi will be pretty much banded almost clear across. So it just kind of depends. If I was going to selectively breed this, I would breed with this snake, and I have used it before because of the coloration, but I would be holding back ones with more banding to increase that look. That was what I wanted to do. You're holding on pretty good there, dude. So anyway, that was Curt's first 3 snakes. Now, of course, at this point in time, these 3 snakes are no longer all Curt's. They're also half mine, and all of my snakes are half his, because as we got to a certain point, we just said to hell with it. It makes more sense to combine everything, and that is what we did. So there's nothing that's no longer like, this is mine and this is yours, and having to keep that separate. It just didn't make a lot of sense to do it that way. I think in partnerships it may for a while, but there's a point where you're doing so much together, and you just have to have that trust in each other and that faith in each other to do that and combine those things and let it be. So, for better or for worse, a partnership in business is almost like a marriage. You're going to be together till that thing ends, and it's either going to end really well with you guys being successful, or it's going to end really badly. So, you got to put work into it, just like you do your marriage. You got to put work into your partnerships. So hopefully Curt's not pissed that I chose to film these. Well, he wasn't here, but I was going to do a different one. I was going to show off Zeus, but Zeus is a little busy right now. So instead, for meter snakes, you got Calypso, you got Cerberus, and you got Loki. Question girl, any questions?
Not at this point in time.
Not at this point in time. You're here and you don't ask anything. You gotta throw me one. Throw me one bone. She's drawing a blank, folks.
Yeah, I guess I'm on the stomach of that one. It almost looks like birthmarks. Is that normal?
Yeah, they'll have some belly pattern.
Is that something exclusive just to the Inchi, or?
No. Now, there are things that you can tell in the belly of a snake that will help you identify the morph. Some snakes having clear bellies, some snakes having pattern bellies, het pied having certain markers a lot of times. But that's pretty typical, and you'll see normals that have that, and you'll see normals with a clear belly. But belly can be an indicator of pattern. But where you're really looking, for me anyway, on an Inchi on the belly is right through here to see that differentiation in color coming up is what I'm really looking for. So.
Yeah. Do they react well to got your belly?
Oh no. Do the bubbles get your belly? They're not kitties. So if for those of you Trailer Park Boys fans, we kind of enjoy that show. It makes you feel better about life. All right, guys. Let me put these guys up, and I will see you next week.